Oh, yes. Morning. How are we? It is Monday, 21st of December 2020, Stargate 65. It is winter solstice today. We're promised a beautiful star in the sky tonight, not seen, I think, for 400 or 800 years. So bring it on. Bring it on. Good morning, everybody. You can see my little green ninja spinning around there in the background. Campbell, hello, sweetheart. Martine Warby, hello, sweets. How are we? We all good? Lovely to see you as always. Interesting times, ladies and gentlemen. Interesting times, I guess, really, because, excuse me, in essence, we've kind of brought this upon ourselves. Government are only a portrait of us, the people, yeah? Morning, Dad. How are you going, UK media? Dad? I'll be your dad. Look, we're all family. People, I don't really see separation. Hang on, I've got to go and put another log on my log burner. You can come with me. I've just dropped actually, I better not say that. It don't sound very nice. Look, just bear with me. Look, this is how we're rolling, man. This is how we're rolling. I've got my fans going. Look, it should be going. It should spin now. Let me just stoke this up. I'll come back with you. It's a Christmas feel. It's certainly a Christmas feel, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just chuck it down. Oh, it's lovely, isn't it? Bit of crimbo. Let's just shut my damper down. So, yeah, this heats the house. It's class, isn't it? Look at that. That's Bosch. Say hello. She's on guard duty. She's on bailiff patrol. I'll put her on bailiff patrol every morning. Look, she's diligent. Have you seen one? Vixen, have you seen one? Have you seen a bailiff? Where is it? Go back to guard duty. That's it. She's gone back. Morning, Trev. Hello, sweetheart. How are you? That's lovely, isn't it? Look at that. Look, Bosh. Have some of that. So, yeah, you can't really... That's better. You can see me now. You can see me now. Oh, by the way, my missus is making all horse things. Like, I'm going to show you. You can find her online, right? You can find her online. This is oh, God. This is her new company. It's called Prancing Ponies. She makes all bits for equestrian stuff, okay? She's making all these head things when they got ears got to go on them. She's sending them all round the place. There's some just gone off to Scotland. And did I get your number, Trev? Yes, I did, mate. Yeah, I will add you. For sure I will. Fabi, how are you? You all right? So, yeah, this so-called Brexit thing, which is all a bit of a nonsense, really, is supposed to be going through, I think, January time. But my local village, happy solstice to you too, sweetheart. I know that you'd be into all that because you're very Mother Earth. Eh? I felt that you are very, very, very Mother Earthy, and that's nice. That's a good thing. But they've blockaded. They're keeping all the trucks in Dover and the docks. So my local village forum this morning, Staplehurst Village, whatever, because I live in Staplehurst in Kent, are saying, you know, oh, be careful, start stocking up. So I'm only repeating what could happen. Massive sins. We're in this tier 4 thing now, which is, I don't even know. It's like a tier on a wedding cake, as far as I'm concerned. Scenes of people scurrying to leave London so they didn't get trapped there. Is this not just a bit of a dictatorship? Do you not? Can you see it? I mean, we are the consequences of our own actions, I think. You know, it seems like the government bark and we follow these bits that they tell us to do. And I'm just wondering where it is all going to end. We've seen a nurse apparently have the COVID vaccine injection, the antidote, the vaccination, and apparently she's passed out a few minutes after she's had this thing. And I'm hearing reports that whether this is true or not, I don't know. Who knows what to believe? That she's now dead. So, you know, everybody's temple's different. My body would react differently to some of you guys. Now, me personally, I don't enjoy pain. Yeah. And I will get to a very low pain threshold and pass out. I will do. But women who give birth, their pain thresholds are much higher. So, and there's guys out there that can basically have their arm hanging off and just go, oh, I think I need to go to hospital. Whereas me, I'd be crying like a baby and probably needed many, many drugs. That kind of stuff bothers me, you know. So we're all different. So a vaccine and drugs and all that does different things to different people. Do you know what I mean? Because we're not all the same, ladies and gentlemen. We're not all the same, but we're all having these toxins put into our body, aren't we? You know, the vaccine that you're going to be receiving will be the same as Maureen down the road from you and her daughter. They're going to be having the same vaccine, but your bodies all react differently. Because although we are all one family, we're all different. We've all got different temples. Our temples react in different ways, you know. Del Boy says, I'm not having anything to do with a vaccine. Mate, that's free will choice. Got to love it. Charlie Drake, beautiful actor. Beautiful, beautiful actor. Used to make me laugh, Charlie Drake films years ago. Absolutely fantastic actor. Shame we don't have proper people like that no more. Tom Cruise has had a right royal rip into people the other day, personally. That's just a bit of a PR stunt. We got people back home in Hollywood making things happen. If I never want to sit, I'm like, Tom, calm yourself down, love. Someone get Tom Cruise a Cadbury's caramel, eh? How's about we send him round a box of Cadbury's caramels? Calm yourself down, love. Man amongst the trees. We might all be coming to live with you soon, son. If you are a man in amongst the trees, you're obviously quite a wise individual. The mask is the yellow star for their followers of MPs. Look, writing a letter to an MP is like farting in a baked bean tin. What good is it? Your MPs ain't listening to you. Your politicians ain't listening to you. It's hand a hock now. You know, I've had Kent Police his finest round here in the last month or two. You know, I actually thought they thought this place was a bed and breakfast. But they just stroll in and stroll out, casually as you like, all to do with money and the devil's contracts. Of course, I forgive them. I have to forgive them. I'm a Christian. But what are they playing at? What are they doing, man? We're all just getting violated to fuck. And it's got to stop. It's got to stop. But what they don't realise is that they're bringing in an Armageddon. They don't realise what they're doing. They really don't. They're only there for the banks. Of course they are. So now I've got an electric company holding me to ransom. I've got Caesar from the National Grid going, yes, you can have power, or no, you can't have power. But by spring, I'm going to be completely off grid, and they will be coming and disconnecting and taking their bollocks, and they can stick it out their bum. And I hate the fact that we've got this situation now where we've all got levers on us. I wouldn't want to have a lever over any of you. But our government and these corporations are not happy. Look at the courts. Ankle bracelets. A lot of people say, oh, these ankle bracelets are good. They give you freedom. No, they don't. Where's the freedom in an ankle bracelet? There's no freedom. You're monitored 24 hours a day. I'd have to cut my own leg off if they put one on mine. Dave, where did you get that fire burner? It is called a Priti, Priti, and it come from Bulgaria. I do have 2 log burners. I've got one in the other room, which is right over in there. Right over there, I've got another. I've got a chimney breast with a log burner. But to be fair, I have this one just ticking over all day. And it roasts the place. You know, when we pull these curtains of a night, we're Dick Van Dyke, if you know what I mean. So it takes a few weeks to come through. You order it. Priti Patel. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Priti Patel burning well. Yeah, exactly, Martin. It's a beautiful thing, the old log burner. It's a different kind of heat. It's just really, really nice. So the point is this. If you can, stock up on tins, on non-perishables like rastas, like pastas and rices and noodles. Just get some of that in. You get quite a good frozen thing if you can, because if they're now holding all of these trucks coming in from Europe, and bearing in mind there's so many food distribution places in. I know I'm not doom and gloom. I would rather you get some knowledge and some understanding, right, to be prepared. That's all I do. If you've got rastas, might be useful too. Oh, I love a rasta. Rastas are good souls. They really are. Very good souls, in fact. Very, very, very good souls. And they've been sold a bum deal in life, haven't they? Especially the Windrush community. Yeah, they was all being sent back a few years ago by the government. I'm thinking, sending them back to where? They've been here for years and I love them. Where are you sending them back to exactly? Our government are responsible for many atrocities, ladies and gentlemen, and we, if we tolerate that, then our children will be next. And that song is very, very powerful. They're awesome songs, of course they are. Very much so. I've got some really decent Rastafarian friends. Guys, I couldn't care what colour somebody is. What, for me, is who they are, what their soul is, you know? So someone's either a good soul or a bad soul. Simple as that. I don't see colour. I know when I'm in the presence of a bad soul, and it could be anyone, you know. You could have pink and leopard spots. I'll be on my way, thank you. I know when I'm in bad company. Rice, pasta, flour for bread, and potatoes. You should all be. I've got some spuds in the ground still out the front, actually, and I'm going to be pulling some out on Christmas Day. Mum phoned back. I spoke to my mother yesterday because I like to disappear. Do you remember yesterday, if you're paying attention? Mum phoned up and she's like, "Oh, Dave, we better not do it on Christmas Day." I said, "Mum, it's fine. It's fine." Me, myself, personally, I'd still just carry on going down there, but I'm not going to try and impose my will on my mother. And Lord only knows if I ever did, you know, a day or two after she come down with whatever, I'd have trouble forgiving myself, you know. So listen, guys, I want to make this absolutely clear. I am absolutely split over this Rona 1984. I'm absolutely split because I know people that have got it. All right. Now, I know of people that have got it and had it and got over it. I don't know anyone personally that's died from it. And generally, those that do pass away do have underlying health issues or are of the elderly population. Okay. And it is sad, but all death is sad and all illness and disease is sad. I'd be more upset of a 18-month-old kiddie that's got terminal cancer. I'd find that more upsetting than someone in their 80s that has a poor life. You know, that's just how it is. But no death's nice, none of it at all. And whilst we all sit secure in stay home, save lives, keep your distancing, and all these other things that they're talking about, it's okay if you're of a certain level. You know, I'm in a nice place, you know, but do we turn our back on everybody else, the people that go from hand to mouth, that weekly need money, need to work to keep food coming in? You got no idea what we're doing to these people, okay, by locking it down. We've taken their ability to provide for their families away from them, and so that the people that have done all right can feel vilified and feel comfortable in exercising their will and wish on everybody else. Death is the only true freedom. You ain't kidding. I don't see death as something to be scared of. I see death as a release. I see death as going home. I see a death as going back to the Almighty. I really do. Mark Kiss on Christopher says the camps are now open and we'll be taking all toxic people. Blimey. Owen Lloyd Martin. Hello, gorgeous. How are you? Hola from Portugal there. Dr. Francis Boyle wrote, well, I've seen something this morning, apparently, that Trump has implemented the intercedent thing, whatever it is, and apparently Joe Biden has already surrendered his passport, and there's been a lot of arrests taking place in America. Now, look, I don't know what to make of the Q stuff. I don't know what to make of Trump. I don't know what to make of anything anymore. The only truth I know is my truth, and how I live my life and what I see going on in the world. That's the only truth we'll ever truthfully know. And whilst we all focus on things that are external, we're not dealing and taking control and care of the things that we should be taking control and care of, which is loving our neighbours, loving our communities, doing things for others that are good, that are decent, that are just your free gift. You know, we've got to get back to that we're all just one family. Bored of hearing of arrests, which is absolutely right. It is, you know, when we place our faith and trust in something else, then we're running a very tight gauntlet. We really are. What we need is more community, more people in areas saying, right, well, I'm a plumber, I'm a carpenter, I'm a fishman, I do bread, well, I sell oils, and you all start coming together. And that, I think, will be the future. I can see a time where we're going to have to go back to relying absolutely on each other. You know, a butcher might swap you a bit of meat for whatever, because it is. I feel that these times are going to be incumbent. I can see that there's going to come a time soon where the monetary system, and this could be and should be a good thing. The trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of pounds of debt that they've got every day with these fiat currency notes can only go on for so long. They're going to have to go back to gold and silver standard. And I think that needs to happen, because if the world goes back to the gold and silver standard, what it does, it releases the people. Because at the moment, whether you know it or you don't, you back the currency. And I'll prove that. I'm not just saying that, I'm going to prove it. The proof in the fact that you back the currency is that on your birth certificate is a QSIP number. Every single one of you's got a birth certificate. Now, my one that my parents raised me in starts with the two letters DB, and then there's a load of numbers after it, but not as many numbers as the kids now, because obviously I was born, come into this world a long time ago. Now, I was born to the world on the 14th of September, 1967, but I was birthed to the world excuse me, 5 days later. So when a policeman says, what's your date of birth? Well, the date of birth is the 19th of September, 1967, but not the born date, because I was born on the 14th. Now, a lot of parents don't register their kids for 2-3 weeks, and then we've got more parents now that are not registering their children, and I salute you for doing that. And they're making epic waves in the world. They really are. But on every birth certificate is a QSIP number. On every banknote that you've got in your pocket, there's a QSIP number. So you back the currency. Now, I'm pretty sure that if you went back to a gold and silver standard, that them QSIP numbers potentially would disappear. And we would see on the monetary system again, as we used to have, the words pay the bearer on demand, not I promise to pay. Do you see the swindle? Is martial law a bad thing? I think martial law is a terrible thing. Yes, I really do. And I think we should all be very cautious of having martial law, although they will be still controlled by the same elite. Yeah. Morning, Dave. Looking great today as usual. Agape. Hello, sweetheart. How are you? Get some ginger down you for that beautiful voice. Beautiful, beautiful voice. Beautiful voice. Noisy Tone. Hello, Gorge. Lovely to see you. I'm just sat here having a coffee in front of me log burner. Talking this morning, Tone, about that they're holding up the lorries now at the ports to stop the food supplies coming for Christmas. And it's the first time in 2,000 years that we can't celebrate Jesus's birthday with our families, ladies and gentlemen. He's gutted. He's absolutely gutted. But trust me, he's coming for his bride. If the far right want power, the best way to obtain it is to discredit the left. Left and right are just the hemispheres of your brain. That's all they are. We should come out of the seas law. Absolutely. Maritime law, Trevor. Yes. The law of fictions. Yeah. But this is why the government's doing it. There's too many people now that are awake. Too many people that are awake. They're trying to quell that. They're trying their hardest to quell the wake up. People are waking up. They're realizing that that this is all a swindle. Now, I grew up in southeast London, Peckham, and as a child, thought that the world was just how it is. And then 12 years ago, I had a few experiences, and I changed my point of attention, a point of awareness. I realized that I was living in the kingdom of God, and that all men are created equal and no man can own another. And that was the truth. And then overlayered over the top of that is this devilish system of fictions. And I sought back then to try and remedy that by exercising my freedom of speech, my liberty, my rights, which we seem to be losing very fast on an everyday occasion, because we seem to have found now that the government, who are representatives of us, that work for us, the public works for the people, have taken everyone's God-given unalienable rights away, because you can no longer in their system travel from that area to that area. The police now are given orders to go out and arrest, to bash, to maim, to kill, and to fine. And you have to wonder where all this fine money is going to. Well, I can tell you exactly where it's going, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to a company very similar to this one that's called Acro. Now, Acro is a private limited company, and it is owned by 2 chief constables and about 6 to 8 police officers. So they send out their fines through this public limited company or private limited company that has limited liability, because they're the majority shareholders, the directors, and then dividends come back to them into their private sector so they can pay their pensions, so that they can live a life of luxury whilst fucking you up the arse. And it's as simple as that. Dave, do you think this virus is more like the flu? I think it's more like chicken flu, in fairness. I think corona is, if you get a dictionary and look at the word corona, it will say the common flu. But you only got to look into the skies and see the amount of aluminiums that they're pouring into the stratosphere every single day. This place is toxic, and we've got to clean it up, or I think nature will clean it up for us. So we've got 2 choices. We can walk the walk and talk the talk, or we can do nothing. And I think nature will have its wicked way with us at some point in any case, because we've turned this God-given planet in with the amount of toxicity and destruction, with all the building and stuff that's going on. It's unsustainable, and we've caused our own problems in essence, really. It will be the start of dishing out the vax. Well, if it means me having a vaccination to continue to participate in this world, then I would say just stick a bullet in me. I'm not having that. No way. We are individuals working together as a community with a real goal, and that is freedom. Have you listened to Mark Windows YouTube channel? Yeah, I know Mark. Mark's a good lad, Mark Windows. Spoke to Mark quite a few years ago, not recently. Richie Allen, Mark Windows, David Icke, Sonia Porton all used to be presenters on the People's Voice. Wildlife looks doomed, not what it was. Yeah, every day is a blessing. You shouldn't think too much in the future. No, absolutely right. Yeah, you're right, Hugh. Live in the moment. Vibrate on a high frequency. Bailiff. Could be. Is it Bailiff? I think it could be. She's on back. Look, she's up there now. Look at this. Check this animal out, like, would you? Yeah. Check it out. She's a nightmare. An 87-year-old neighbour of mine told me yesterday, have I had my injection? If everyone had theirs, then this kung flu will go away and we can go back to normal. Sadly, I said, it won't. I'm out. There is no going back to normal, people. And that reality is going to be sinking in to a lot of people in the next few months. That all of this mask wearing over the last 9 months, albeit a very valiant, vain attempt, hasn't obviously worked because the numbers are spiking. There's a new strain. If everybody, apart from the selfish ones like me, that won't wear a mask, you would have thought that this thing would have been pretty much wrapped up already. And it would seem that we are one of the biggest countries in the world, apart from China, that has got all this draconian measures that are taking place, and we're having hits. We've got now France. There's no travel for the Brits to France. Why? Because we got fucktards in power. And they're spinning this. They're loving it. They're spin doctors. They will always tell you, politicians, we spin. We love spinning. We love confusing. They don't like facts. They don't like the fact that you know whose kingdom you live in. They don't like that. They want to keep this illusion going and going and going. And it's got to stop, ladies and gentlemen. So I hope that you're all talking to your friends and families just nice and calmly and saying to them, what's going on? Because we're bringing in a very, very draconian, measured future where a lot of people are going to be chipped, possibly have tattoos up their arms. I mean, where this all ends, Lord only knows. But remember, you don't have to participate. I honestly think the first injection is a placebo too. Third time out, probably. Yeah, Kobe. Nice to see you, Kobe. You're a new member. And new members just joined. I've not seen you in here before, darling, but thanks for tuning in. It's beautiful. Nice to see you. Simon Boyle, lovely to see you, mate. How are you? My lad's not having it. Dave thinks it's all okay. Good for you, Trev. I'll give you a little instance. A friend of mine, Bill, his son in the motor mechanic trade, his employer had been instructed by a government agency to, I'm female. Oh, lovely to see you, darling. To take shekels out of his wage packet for a certain issue. So being a very caring, loving, sharing father, my friend Bill decided to put pen to paper and send back a letter. And it was, who is the man or woman making this claim that they have the right to take this and do this and that. Well, anyway, they got a letter back saying there will be no deductions from this individual's pay packet, and the money that has been deducted so far must be reimbursed. And this letter was 5 lines long. You have to be very simple, people, in your claims. You can't write big, long essays. If you've written 10 lines, you've done too much. Claims are very simple. Claims are biblical. You need to learn the words of the Bible, like property, claim. You need to learn the verbiage of the good book, and you'll see miracles happen. Yes, and your good self, I'm female. Oh, lovely to see. We've got the ladies popping in. Lovely. Nice to see you. Whereabouts you from, Kobe? Whereabouts you from, Chuck? What's your occupation and what do you do? I would like to know where all the money for plastic bags for life goes. Well, you know where it's going. Government is just a swindle. If they can trick you out of your hard-earned and put their hands in your pockets either way, you know what, they're going to do it, and there's no stopping it. We're going to go back to bartering. Why not? Why not? Let's all just work for donations. Donations of a few shekels, donations of a piece of silver, donations of a fish, donations of a few pork chops, donations of some spuds, some cereal. Go down to see your farmer, get your milk. Why not? Why not? I've got a mate that has been living for a year without handling any money, just working for donations. You know, he goes and does a bit there, and he says, well, you know, can you give us a bag of food and that? And that's how he's rolling. You know, oh, can you put 30 quid in my fuel tank? That's what he's doing, and he's not handling none of this stuff. And the lucre, the filthy lucre that we have nowadays, we all seem to worship it like crazy. And I'll give you, for instance, like I take the people of Greece. In Greece a few years ago, they was all worshipping the drachma. Okay, the drachma was their life, it was their essence, it was their energy. And I went to Greece when the drachma was about, and it was good. You know, you got thousands and thousands of drachma, and for your British English sterling, and you live like a king. But then they joined the euro, and they pretty much went overnight from worshipping the drachma to worshipping the euro. And then once they were in the euro, they never give a second thought to their drachma. Couldn't care less. And it was an erosion of their history and their culture for thousands of years. Now, if you've ever been to Egypt, most people would go to Egypt, we all get the Delhi belly, you know, you get the shits, because when we went out and started conquering the world, traveling abroad, you know, first destination Spain or Portugal, we used to go there, and everyone used to say, "Where you going?" So I'm off my summer holidays. This is in the 70s, and they used to say, "Where you going?" And so I'm off to Portugal for 2 weeks, and they go, "Portugal? Oh, you'll get the shits." And they were true. It was true. But then we see the shits disappear. It's a bit of a Mickey Flanagan thing going on here, but we eradicated that from Europe. We started to travel to Europe without having all these problems. We become immune to it. So you had to go further afield to get the shits. And that was generally Egypt and all these very far and foreign destinations. Now, I've been to Egypt and had a beautiful, beautiful time. I had 3 weeks there. It was amazing. I would suggest that most of the illnesses that you get from Egypt is due to the handling of the currency, because their money hasn't changed since the beginning. You're handling notes that are all waxy. They've been about for such a long time. Their units of exchange that they've been down people's pants, in their turbans, but you name it, they've been everywhere. Probably rolled up as a Rizzler, washed in the lake. So all this stuff you're picking up through the bacteria of their currency. So the point is this: what are we prepared to worship? We all worship this currency that we have that is hyperinflating like crazy. I mean, since 1972, when we had 240 pennies in our Great British Pound, we've seen the currency is just gone berserk, because there's no measure on it. They're just told to keep print. Well, at some point, all that fraud is going to come out. The EU has never had a proper audit from its inspection. No, and they're using the monetary system now as a weapon over us. And I guess if my life hadn't have been working hard, playing hard, perhaps the system wouldn't have bashed me as hard as it has. But because I've decided to go down that path, now my life's completely changed around. You know, I don't file any of the government papers. I don't file tax returns. And there's only one lever that they have over me now, and that is the electric. And that's going to be taken out their hands in the spring. And I'll be off grid forever. And there's nothing they can do about it. So that would be me, pretty much self-sufficient, nice and private. But who knows what's coming? You don't know. I became a conspiracy nutcase in others' eyes. The government won't do that. Poof, dream on. Yeah, there's, you know, it's been a tough journey for myself, because about 12, 13 years ago, I started speaking out, which was not following the mainstream and following the herd. And I found it very tough, very challenging. But I'm very pleased to say that after all these years and all these gorgeous people that I've met and hugged over the years, every single one of you, Faye's in the room. I've met Faye. I've hugged Faye. Noisy Tone. I love Tony like a brother. He is my brother from another mother. But the thing is, why I hug and love all these people like Noisy Tone and Faye and Martine and Kobe and Man Amongst the Trees and Richard Lewis is because you are all my family. Every single one of you, we're all family. And we now have to come into a time period where we stop harming each other and we unify. And we unify and we say to government, really, we don't need you no more. We're going to do this our way. Okay. Mate of mine I spoke to recently mentioned that all of the conspiracy stuff that I was banging on about now was now in our faces. Boom. God told me years ago, speak your voice, David. Make your voice heard. Let people decipher the information that you give and make up their own minds. He said, because I will bring about a different time period. I am not happy with mankind. Because I love it so much, I'm going to help sort it out and twist it around. And everything that we do, people like me, this is all God's intervention. This is all the light coming in. This is all about the consciousness rising. I'll never forget, 8 years ago, a woman phoned me up that was working for the Citizens Advice Bureau. And I said to her, well, what can I do for you? She said, Dave, she says, I've just stumbled across you. She said, and I don't know whether you can help me. I said, help you in what respect? I said, you work for Citizens Advice Bureau, man. What do you need my advice? She said, Dave, she says, I woke up 2 days ago and I knew that everything that I was and what I stood for and what I was doing was wrong. And it was a lie. And I can't stop crying. My husband don't know what to do with me. And I'm like, wow, man, you've been touched by the Spirit. Everyone that wakes up is touched by the Spirit. You're all being touched by the light, people. Now, the light is magnifying now like there's no stopping it. And it can't be stopped because it is an immutable force. Okay, it is an absolute immutable force. And you're all waking up. All your friends and family now are going to be forced. See, the reason why the conspiracy stuff never really took off too long ago was because everybody was just living the dream and living their lives and not paying attention and just rolling around and just having a nice time. But because they're finding themselves now in the cusp and in the grip of this devilish evil system, and it is taking their freedoms away and their liberties, and they can see what's coming, it's making them come to the table. God is now making them come to the table. He's now saying, I will shake you to the core. You will wake up. I guarantee you, this is a divine intervention. Absolute divine intervention. I've been watching you for a while. Do you ever listen to my friend Mark Windows? I know Mark Windows. He's a good lad. Windows of the World has been telling the truth for years. Well, when you see Mark, give him my love. Tell him I love him like a brother and tell him he's a sweetheart. He's a good lad. Well said, Dave. Guys, Martine, yes, God bless you. Fingers crossed, people. WTFU and get motivated. Yeah, we do. We've got to get off our asses. We've got to motivate. Listen, things can only manifest if we allow it. If we allow this thing to manifest, you're not getting your freedoms back. But if you start now to make change and come back home, God does work in strange ways. Let me tell you. My most favorite book in the world, and the only book that will bring you protection, is the King James Version Bible. And it is the word, and it is the law, and it is the truth. And there is nobody in power that can argue with that. Okay, there's more law on one page that the scholars have never been able to decipher than they've ever written in any of their law books. The word of God is the truth. Okay, we have to come back to that. And this is God's way of shaking us all. We're all being shaken up. We're all being shaken from the tree because we've all had our heads down. So many people in 2021 are going to be shook to wake up. Trust me, it's coming. Free will, just say no. Absolutely. Free will universe. This is a free will universe. We have the right to decide whether we want to have something put in our temple. There's just been a nurse. Now, whether she's theatrical, whether this is true, I'm not too sure. She's had this COVID vaccination, the first jab or the second jab, I'm not too sure. She's been live on air, which I'm always suspect about because she's got the camera straight in her face. It's a bit like when Lee Rigby got murdered in Woolwich. The first people there to chat with Adebayo, who had blood on his hands, and he had a big cleaver knife in his hand, but he didn't have any blood anywhere else on his body. You would have thought that the first people there would have been the police kung fuing this lad to the ground, tasering him, putting the anal beads in. But oh no, it was a reporter from the BBC or Channel 4 or ITV with a microphone straight in his face. Why did you do it? Now, if I was a reporter and I worked for one of these big newspaper outlets like Kay Burley and all these others, and I was sent to somewhere and there was a guy stood there with a massive deadly weapon in his hands, covered in claret, and my boss said to me, go and interview him. I'd tell my boss to stick it up his arse. I would be nowhere near him. So the minute that I saw Adebalaju being interviewed and a little woman walked past with her shopping trolley, a little Indian woman walked past with her shopping trolley, right? That's it, Martin. You've just picked up on exactly the same thing. And this little woman just casually walked past, and he looked at her, walked past, and went, all right, love, yeah. So I'm thinking, this is fucking bollocks. Tell me I'm wrong. Most people, if there was someone that's just cut someone's head off, you'd all be running the other way, wouldn't you? You'd all be like, nah, I like my life. I'm off. I'm ta-ah. You know, I'm not hanging around for this stuff. So this nurse has had a jab. She's live on camera. She's then fainted. It's very theatrical. It's very Shakespearean. And I'm just like, you know what? This world's a fucking stage, man. And then she's laid out on the floor, and I'm hearing reports now that this young lady is who was very attractive, I might have to add, is now passed away. So Lord only knows what goes on. There is only one true God, for the rest of false idols. There is only one true God. Allah, Buddha, all these. There's only one true God. That's it. End of. Because everything comes from the Alpha and the Omega, and it says that in all these good books. In the Quran, they worship Jesus Christ as well. And the reason why Muslims get the ump with us Christians is because we've turned away from God. That's the truth. We offer token lip service to Christianity. That's all we do. We couldn't care less. We'll celebrate the pagan rituals. We'll have a Christmas dinner with all the trimmings. We'll celebrate Easter and sit in front of the telly with chocolate eggs and get fucked. We will do, but when it actually comes to living in the word and living by that, we fall very short. And the Muslims realize this, and this is why they stick to their word. And I do admire them for that. I do. All the violence and stuff, no, but that's radicalization. Most Muslims that I've ever met are very warm, affectionate people. My friend Ed Gurney, who runs the funeral directors, is one of the most blessed individuals you'll ever come across. And I'm pretty sure if you was desperate for food and he see you on the street, he would be someone that would lift you up, take you home and give you a bowl of food. So we can't tarnish everyone with the same brush. That's a very dangerous thing to do. But when we all just turn around and say the Father, they all line up, come together, because there is only one Father, whether it's Allah, Buddha, whatever it is you want to call it, there is only one true creator. We turned away from God to buy in America on steroids. Yes, Chemical Liquor. Lovely to see you this morning. Kobe, it's so nice for you to tune into my channel. I do hope you consider subscribing and pressing the like button and hit the bell button for further notifications. Beautiful to see you. Thank you for joining us. What part of the country are you from? I don't know if you've commented that already. What do you think about the religious treaty signed? Trump has just done a fantastic YouTube video and put it out around the world, thanking God for sending us Jesus Christ, our Redeemer and Savior. And I'm like, I like Trump. I've got to be honest. I do like Trump. My son just moved in time to village. God bless him. Yeah. Touchwood, where I live, I'm very deep and rural in the country. If ever I get any SS fucking guards come up to my house and say, right time, roll up your sleeves, son, the vaccine's going in. They're going to get given 2 of them. I'm going to tell them to fuck off. And if they don't like it, I'm going to stand there and say, fucking shoot me. I'm not for turning. If I want to wear a mask, I will wear a mask. If I want a vaccine, I'll have a fucking vaccine. But if I don't, kiss me gonads. Morning, sunshine. How's life in Kent? It's all right, Dave. I've just got the log burner going, son. We're just warming the house up. I'm sitting here, my missus is out playing around with the horses. I've got the dog on bailiff duty. She's up there. Vixen, Vix, have you seen one? You found a bailiff yet? Is he out there? God, you get him. Bailiffs, honestly, the scum of the earth, aren't they? You know, it says, you know, we shouldn't judge, but sometimes with the things I see them get up to, I do sort of wish that they might choke on their chicken bones on Christmas Day. No, I know I shouldn't say that, but I do, because they're nasty people. Raj Barley, hello, darling. How are you? Nice to see you, Raj. Hope you're well. God bless you. Hope you're all safe and sound this gorgeous morning. The Stove fans are pretty good. Yeah, they are. Yeah, I've got the Stove fans on now. Yeah, they do. They don't half circulate. Right. So I get up in the morning and my house this time of year is still quite mild. It drops to about 18.5 degrees. So the heat coming from that fan, that burner, goes all the way through the house. It rises upstairs, and then the room stat, by the time I go to bed about 10:30, is about 22.5, 23 degrees. It's phenomenal, the heat output from that burner. It is mental. It is beautiful. Stock up on dry foods. A slow cook are good. Look like 1970s when the food shortages were then. Yeah, we did have food shortages in the 70s. The snow fan's pretty good. We've just done that one. Raj Barley, it's lovely to see you, darling. I hope life's treating you all right. I hope your health's doing good. Are you doing all right? If anyone wants any information on on to deal with cancers and stuff, let me know, because I've just come into some information this morning from a learned friend of mine with regards to how to get your hydrogen peroxides. Hydrogen peroxide kills bits and bobs. That's as much I'm going to say, because I don't want the police around this saying you're making a claim and you can't make that. But I will show you how to get your bottles of 3%, 12% hydrogen peroxide to 35%. It's a very easy, simple thing to do. So if you drop me your emails in the comments, I can email you. I can share that information with you. And what you do with that 35% hydrogen peroxide is you put 5 drops in the morning into an egg cup full of a China egg cup with distilled water, and you just hold your nose and you get it down. You do that 3 times a day. You'll pretty much see fantastic results. Dave, can you call me after the chat? I will, sweetheart. No problem at all. We must be careful about gold standard because they interfere with the standard physics. Gold might be better. Who knows? We all believe and worship different things. I've handled millions and millions of pounds, but for what? It's just a lever, because we don't own anything anyway. And God says, prove all things. The Bible, I stumbled across a passage the other month and it said, prove all things. And I guess that's what I've been proving in this kingdom. This kingdom is quite wicked. I'm down in the hospital daily. I bottled it due to my family pressure and could not get hold of CBD. Richard, drop me your email. I can't put my email up in it no more because my email got hacked the other day because someone on here it's just been shared about through the old airwaves and someone tried to hack my email. So I can't put that no more. I paid my water to cancel, charged, changed to pay water direct, bank closed, and I don't do internet bank, so cancel holding money, water not good. But now bailiffs. So all you do with a bailiff letter is fold it up and write on the back, I reject all claims, and you don't have the sufficient standing. And just pop it back to them. It's simple. You have to keep your remedies very simple. So what you're down in the hospital because you've got issues, Rich. I'll show you how to do the H2O2, the hydrogen peroxide thing, and how to get your hydrogen peroxide to 35%. That is crucial. You used to be able to buy 35% hydrogen peroxide, food grade, but you can't no more, and that's because of what it can do for the body. So yeah, we're in interesting times. We're a few days away from Christmas. People now will, a lot of you will still be going out and seeing your friends and families. Look, I'm mixed over this whole issue that's going on right now. I do know people that have got it, that have had it, that have got over it. I do. I really do. And maybe I had it back in January because I was in bed for 3 or 4 days, coughing and whinging and doing all sorts of weird things and not feeling great at all. But one thing I do know is that if you can keep your immune system in check, if you can eat good, solid, wholesome foods, good carbs, good proteins, good minerals, and you keep yourself nice and healthy. And this is another thing that does my head in. We've got the population now all having cheap pops at one another because they won't wear a mask. But in reality, if you go to a supermarket and see all of the foods that these people that are screaming at people, put your mask on, if you see their food trolley, you go, oh my good God. Diet Cokes, pizzas, chips, burgers, it's all nonsense. There's no health in none of that food. That is not real food, people. You need living foods if you want to live. Eat dead foods if you want to die. Now, I'm not saying you can be a saint all the time. It's about balance, and no one's got the exact science. You can watch all these gurus talking about juicing and this and that, and it's all good stuff to do. But none of us have the actual remedy because we're not given that knowledge. None of us actually know 100%. We don't. Done that, Dave. Called Walter. Yeah, over the phone's never really a good thing to do with these people. They said contact Bailey's. I said no, my contract is with you, and you're absolutely right. They said that you've not received my letters. Easy said, put emails, say their boxes full poo. Right on their piece of paper, we reject all claims, and you do not have the sufficient standing. Send it back. I watched a mad Frenchman on a hydrogen peroxide owned motorbike to go Santa pod racing in 3 seconds. Powerful stuff. Hydrogen peroxide powered motorbike. Well, you can run cars on hydrogen. You can absolutely run cars, petrol engines on hydrogen. Apple, grapes, good to clear body, green tea, detox. Absolutely right. I'm drinking coffee, which is still quite warm, to be fair. Rocket fuel. Boom. That's what you need. Something expanding. What are we on there? 51 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all ready for Christmas. Run your Jenny on hydrogen. You can do. I know I'm working on another thing, Tone. I'm not going to say too much about it on here, but I'm going to be running. I'm going to be running a generator without using fossil fuels. That's all I'm going to be saying, and it's going to run 24 hours a day. And that's all I'm going to say on that one. UK media, where you been today? You've been somewhere nice, UK media. Veggie oil, yeah, but it's all fossil fuels. You've all got to keep getting all this stuff. You've got to cut. I mean, I'm burning logs. You've got to keep cutting trees down. You got. It's. I'm off on the coffee and brandy in it. Oh, get you. And my Christmas gift, little bottle. Yeah, I've not done much for Christmas this year. I can't. When I can't participate in this, but that's my choice. You know, I'm seeing a breakdown of families and stuff, and for me, it's unbelievable that we're allowing this to happen. And while we all sit there and pretend that we're all higher and worthier than thou, the amount of people that are dying and suffering because they've got nothing, and it's disgusting. The amount of people that are committing suicide and just giving up. The amount of people I hear talking about they just want to end their lives now and go. I'm just like, this is all as it's planned. They want you to start doing this, people. Let me tell you. Lots of vids on running things with hydrogen. It's a no-brainer. Boom. Homemade fish soup, smoked haddock, potatoes, onions, and milk. Oh, lovely. Sounds beautiful. Green tea, distilled water here. God, Tony, I love you. And you'll probably be having your 5 pints of iron later, wouldn't you, mate? If you can get in the pub. Can you get in the pub now, Tony? I'm not too sure. H2O. No, hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide, 35% is what you want. So it's really good for cancer. My main study was advanced alternative energies. Wow. I used to give free advice on alternative construction. Ask and I'll tell you what I've learned over 30 years. Well, Kobe, that is just perfect. Are you on Facebook? If you are, can you nip over to my Facebook profile and or give me your Facebook name and I'll add you on there? That would be really, really interesting. And God bless you for that. UK media, Swansea today, Trev. You in Swansea, darling, are you? What are you doing down in God's country? Pubs all shut, mate. Oh, man. And here's the thing, right? This government has shut all these big corporations down. It's all anal. I don't understand none of it. But what they fail to realise is they're the ones going to take the brunt first, surely. Aren't they? I don't know. I want to go to a pub these days. £3 for a pint to put fluid in it and to pee it out. Yeah, exactly right. No, I'm not opposed to having a little pint now and again. I might have a couple of pints once or twice a month. But for me, has been a lot of weight training this year just to keep my testosterone levels up, bench pressing, cycling, boxing. I've been doing a lot of that. And I've not slept at all. Normally this time of year, I'm on the couch snoring my box off lunchtime, especially in front of a log burner. But whenever I feel tired now, I go and have a box, and and then most of the time I'm laying in bed now trying to get sleep at night. So I've changed. The point is this: by saying that, I changed my destiny. I'm 53 years of age. I started, but I noticed that I was starting to sleep too much during the day. 3 times a week, 3 times a week, I'd be so tired. I'd be on the couch and I'd wake up and my tongue would be stuck to my t-shirt and I'd be thinking, I feel groggy. It weren't right. So I thought I need to do something about this situation that I find myself for the first time in my life feeling this way. So I decided to start eating properly and to start training, and it's made such a difference. I mean, such a difference. Now I know now I can confidently say for the last 9 months, not having a kip in the afternoon ever. I think after the first week or two, I must have had 1 or 2 kips. After that, I've not been asleep in a lunchtime at all since then. Now I can confidently say, as long as I keep up my regime of training and stuff, I probably will never sleep in the afternoon again. And that's exactly what I wanted. And I feel so much better for it. I feel better as a man. I feel stronger. I feel more energetic. I feel more at one with my spirit because it focuses you. Whenever you get depressed, whenever you get down, go into see. This is the best advice I could ever give anybody, and it's freely given. If you ever get to a point where you start feeling down, depressed, sleeping, and you're doing all this and that, do yourself a favor. Buy a Bible, start working out. Start going out for a walk, a jog, a walk around the park. Just get out and about. Start training. Get yourself some little cheap dumbbells. Do whatever. Focus on something that's going to help your body, and your body will start healing itself. Your body will then start repairing your mental state. Bob's your uncle. All right, Bob's your uncle. My mental state now is far greater than a year ago. I feel stronger. I feel more of a man, and I feel complete. All because I started to train. All right. So do something. Don't let this system get you down. I'll see you all soon. I've got to disappear. Love you.